Reed, obviously a big day. You get an extension with the team. It's a U22 spot. Just your thought between all of it and the way it kind of played out.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously, like growing up in Seattle, play for the team is like great group of players. Everyone's staff. Like it's a great place to be. I'm super happy and super excited to continue to play for the Sounders here and keep going with that process.
When you look at your trajectory, right? I mean, there's been so many highs, so many lows. You've had some injuries. You are one of the highest prospects of the team. When you put it all together, what is it that stands out of your time here with the Sounders?
Yeah, I think you said. I think there have been lots of highs and lows, but I think it's helped me a lot. It's a great, again, like the people here, the staff, players, everything is like have helped me through that process, which has been huge, and I've really appreciated. And so yeah, throughout the highs and lows, it's about persevering and keep it going. And yeah, now this is obviously doesn't change where I'm at, but it's a great moment that I'm very excited for, and it signifies the continuing of this process, which I'm really happy about.
You're not obviously on the same team as Obed, but that you're both going to the U20 World Cup. There's got to be something extra satisfying about a guy that you came through the whole system with.
Yeah, definitely. I was very frustrated about being injured when we played Mexico in Spain at the start of the year. I was like, it was right when I was back from, I was cleared for 30 minutes, and so I didn't get released to the camp. But yeah, so it's really exciting to get to go there. And yeah, I would love to play against him in a knockout game in the World Cup. That'd be fun.
What was the decision like for this? I mean, was it a no-brainer for you to go to the U20 World Cup? Was there some discussion about maybe staying here?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, but which I can't really get into. But I'm really excited for the opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime thing, which is you get to play in the World Cup, and it's not ever guaranteed. And so it's something that's been one of my goals for a long time. Like it's been ever since the start of the U20 cycle, ever since I learned there was a U20 World Cup. But when I was getting called up to a U13 national team camp, it's been kind of the culmination of that process. So it's obviously a goal I've looked forward to for years and years and worked for. So it's made it a really exciting time to now be able to head to Chile in a couple days and get playing games.
Reed, obviously we've seen your skills over the years, but what's the next evolution of your game? What are the one or two things maybe you really want to work on to be better at?
Consistency. I think I've had really good attacking games and really good defensive games, and there have been some games where they've come together, but not every game. I think you've seen flashes of it where I've had a game where I lock it down defensively or I get an assist or something offensively and create a lot. But I think just the consistency of being able to do it game in, game out is the next evolution. And so I think that's my main focus, is just making sure I dial the habits and every step necessary to be like those guys. Like you got like a Christian, like a Jackson, like Steph, like those guys who've been just like, EMR, like I could name basically the whole team, but those guys who just like day in, day out, really good pros, like who are able to do what they do every single game. I think that's the next step, and I think it's around the corner.
Is it as simple as emulating kind of those habits, or is there a secret sauce to that consistency and making sure that you keep those performances?
A little bit of both. I think the habits are really the backbone of it, but you gotta do whatever works for you. Different people have different things, so I'm still trying to figure out what every step is that'll help me be as consistent as possible, but I think I'm narrowing in on it.
Yeah, how much does confidence play into that, where you're coming off of a performance, for example, these last couple of performances you've had starting, how much does that kind of ride building on your confidence to allow you to continue to have those?
It's very important. Yeah. I know, like the start of the year, like coming back from injury, team changes formations, I don't have a position, I was very like in a spot where I wasn't confident. And then like I remember we had a national team camp I went to, and I didn't play well at all, and I was like, I felt like absolutely like what's going on. Like I didn't really recognize myself as a player, but then the Club World Cup came, and just like suddenly thrown in against Botafogo and Atletico Madrid, and it's like suddenly just like in like one game it completely flipped, and I was like, oh my god, I found it a little bit. And now I think the habits are again what kind of keeps that confidence going, is that you you shouldn't need to rely on a good game to be confident, but it's about, you know, the habits and doing it every day that makes you feel, you know, confident in that. In every single step that's put you to where you are.
So kind of piecing it together then, how much did those injuries really get in the way of that consistency and that confidence being able to kind of just continue through in the middle of that stretch where there were injuries?
Oh, they were definitely really hard moments, but also I think they've helped me. Hard moments make you stronger. I think despite the frustration that I still feel looking back on it, it's like, obviously I'm not like happy looking back on those moments because they were tough times, but I really think that they've helped me help me become who I am. Like now, my physical habits are pretty nailed. Like I have a routine of like stretching and ice bath and the activation in the morning and everything after training that's happened because of that, and that I didn't have before I got injured when I was 17. So obviously like tough moments, but they've helped make me stronger and helped give me better habits to get where I am now.
Reed, is part of that evolution solidifying in a position, or do you enjoy the versatility of being both, you know, at times a winger, at times a fullback, a wingback?
There's a little bit of both. I think honestly the versatility is helpful. I think it's helped me in the past to get on the field when I didn't have a single position, but I think overall now it's about getting one position, and I think I've really grown into this left back role. At first, like I remember when I first started playing it, I was a little out of my depth. I felt like I was playing center back. I never played center back before, and so I was like, that was like a mental thing that took me a while to like, you know, understand the feedback from Andy and Preki about like positioning, defensive body shape, like where to be in the builds, like how to build out as a center back, looking for the inside passes first and all those things. It's been a process, but I'm really happy, and I felt like I'm able to, you know, fit into the team structure and play the way I like to play, and so I'm really happy with that. So
it seems like you've done a lot of work with both Andy and Steven after practice. It seems like what do you get out of those extra sessions, and what role have they played in your evolution this year?
A lot. I mean, obviously Andy is kind of the defender's coach, and so as a defender, like especially a defender who hasn't been a defender for his whole life, I've you know had to work with him a lot, but he's been amazing. He's helped me so much in like every aspect of the position, and because there's so much to learn and do and stuff that you kind of take for granted. When before I played as a fullback, you watch fullbacks and you're like, oh, there's a right back playing right back. That's just what it is. But there's a lot of details that go into it. So Andy's helped me a lot with that technical and, you know, soccer wise aspects of the position. And then Steven obviously is an amazing guy, as you guys probably saw in the Miami game. But helping us out. But he's been amazing and really an amazing addition to the team. He's for those who don't know, he works as a mental performance guy. I wouldn't know the exact title, but obviously that goes in hand with the kind of the returning habits and that I've talked about to become more consistent and more professional in that way. And he's been really helpful because obviously like I've had a tendency to get frustrated about mistakes and stuff like that, which is obviously something you can't afford to do when the level is this high. So he's been really helpful in getting the the mental aspects of soccer just in general dialed. And so those two, obviously, I could name every person in the staff as someone who's helped me a lot, but those two have been really great on both the soccer and mental side. So.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.